like I said, I was watching the Fresh Dress Joan on Netflix, right? And they brought up a good point. The fact that, like, brands like FUBU, Rockaware, WooWear, like, all our brands, like, all our brands that the hip-hop community came up, and Kanye kind of touches on it a little bit, too. The fact that after a while, it's like a fad. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll forget about it, it's whack, but we always go to our straight. Like, Ralph Lauren has been around for centuries. You know, they not only have clothes, they got plates, they got, you know, but
furniture.
Yeah, like what can clothing, especially black urban brands, or I don't even want to call it urban because it almost has a bad like kind of but what can they do to just not be a fad? Because that's how we usually do it. It's like, oh yeah, FUBU was cool for a little while, but you catch somebody in FUBU now, it's like, yo, why you got that whack? You know what I'm saying? So
you're never gonna you right. You got it. You're never gonna be able to run away from that. And I'll let him finish.
Well, yeah, like for the brands they were talking about in that show, I'm only speaking for those brands right now because there's a lot of underground brands that are trying to do certain different things. The problem with the brands was that they were connected to an artist. Once that's why.
Fact.
So the artist isn't that cool no more. That clothes isn't that cool no more either.
But what about FUBU though? FUBU wasn't necessarily connected. It was connected with hip hop.
LL Cool J was the face of FUBU.
Was the face.
It was the face of FUBU.
That's the only reason I know FUBU.
Me too. I was about to say the same thing.
If it wasn't for LL Cool J. Same thing with Rockaware. Same thing with all of them. Think
State
about
Property.
All of them.
G-Unit.
All the brands they were talking about were about an artist. So once the artist has a moment and he dies down, so will the fashion. Because once again, the fashion is what? A label. There's no feeling behind it. It's not like Eltsuh where it stands for hustle. It stands for what I'm gonna do. What is FUBU? What does that mean?
For us buyers.
What does Rockaware mean? Like it's just a brand. You know what I'm saying? It's just a brand. That's it. There's nothing else to show what it stands for.
Minus so it has something like a purpose behind it.
Right. And one thing I will say is also the person behind it, because like how you talk about purpose and substance and disrupting the market. I want to talk about Mark Echo. He also had a brand. He wasn't connected to any artist. He kind of just knew how to ride the wave. Right? But Mark Echo, till this day, is still a very prevalent businessman.
Definitely.
And you still find Mark Echo in Macy's or in... he still has those same accounts, but you won't know it's him. Why? Because he's not putting a big rhino on his shirt anymore.
So true.
It's small, but he's just making a simple bomber.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of knowing how to ride the wave. Back then, it was okay, and it was kind of hip to put that big rhino there. Echo 1982, the whole sweatpants.
That was every brand though.
That was every brand.
It wasn't like it was just Mark Echo.
It was every brand. But it was the fad.
Right.
But most people might say, "Oh, Mark Echo's not live anymore." Have you seen his bottom line? Have you looked at his stock on Yahoo? Mark Echo still sells a lot of clothes, but you're just not gonna know it's Mark Echo because it's not a big thing anymore. Just got to know how to ride it.
Well, I was going to say also, with someone like Mark Echo, you also have someone like Sean John, who's actually still making money in Macy's. He's in the commercials. He's making suits now. All he does, same name, but he just changed the image. He adapted.
You
gotta adapt.
That's interesting.
So like he adapted. Mark Echo adapted. Like they're both in Macy's, but I think they did very smart because I remember. It was a time where Sean John had its own store.
Yep.
Yeah. So what he did was he changed it up and went department, so the money would be residual.
Right.
He would always make the money. It has his name. You feel me? He changed it up because it used to be B&B sometimes. He had the bad boy. Sometimes it'll be the big ass Sean John.
At one point it was no bitch assness.
And no bitch assness. The vote or die.
You feel
me? So they ride the wave.
Now it's cool now. European style, so he's doing suits.
Can't put all your eggs in one basket.
You can't. But I feel like the artists, like Rockaware, G-Unit, I feel like they just did it for the money at the time. Because it was cool to have my own clothing line. So they just did it. And once
it was capitalizing.
It was
exactly.
It was capitalized of it. And once it wasn't really the wave no more, it was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna do other things.
I made about money already.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Hip hop never dies.